Hello, hello, hello. I believe that we are live. Let me know if you can hear me and see me okay. Let me see. I believe there is quite a bit of a delay. But hopefully you can see me okay. I cannot tell. There we go. Okay. I'm just not sure if the audio is playing. Seems like it is, but I don't know if it is coming through on the video. Which is a little bit annoying. Let me know if you can hear me okay, because we are live and I don't know if the audio is working. So that would be great if you could let me know. Let me know in the chat. Okay, let me know if you can hear me and the music, please. Otherwise, there is no point me continuing this. And we're all just wasting time. Okay, yay, I'm glad you can hear me okay. All right, fantastic. Thank you so much, Em. I'm so grateful for having you let me know. I can't hear anything. I can't hear the music. Oh, it's too loud. Okay, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I don't know why I can't hear anything at all. Thank you. I appreciate you standing by. Let's see. I've got my little assistants here in the back, as you can hear, as you can see. Why is the tech always so challenging? We are here to do some drawing, not to fiddle with advanced audio properties. Background jazz. Yeah, I can't hear. Let me know if the music is better. Madeleine, yay! Okay, perfect. Madeleine, let me know if the music is okay. I have reduced it. I can't hear a single ounce of the music. And so apparently I'm going to draw in silence today. I don't know why. And oftentimes we can only find out what the technical issues are at the point at which we go live. So that's always fun. So if you are joining the live session, sorry, my microphones are hitting my necklaces. If you're joining for the first time, welcome. My name is Abigail and I do these weekly illustration live sessions as an opportunity for us novice illustrators to practice our illustrating skills. And I have often found, I don't know if you can relate, but I often found that I don't really know what to draw. So what I used to do in the past was that I would go onto platforms like Instagram and then find all these art challenges. But then I would go down a whole rabbit hole of art challenges and then I'd get overwhelmed because there's just too many choices. And then compounded with that is comparisonitis when I see what everybody else is doing and it's just fantastic and I feel bad and then I end up not practicing. So This is a kind of a simplified art challenge, and yeah, the intention is that it is calm, it is not overwhelming, it is fluid, it is random, and it is open for us to interpret as we each individually please. The way that I do it, I have a kind of a framework for coming up with a prompt to illustrate, but I leave it to chance. I have a wheel, like a little spinny wheel that we use to help us determine what it is that we are actually going to draw. So I'm just going to pull up on my iPad. That is how I do my drawing, but you can do this whether you're doing it digitally or you're doing it analog on paper, pen, pencils, whatever it is. It doesn't matter. The medium doesn't matter. What matters is the practice and having something to work towards at a pace that feels comfortable for you. And that's why we do this weekly. I feel like for me personally, the weekly challenge feels like a good length of time without there being too much pressure to finish things quickly, like a daily art challenge, but also that there is a constraint of some kind to encourage me to complete my illustration, so that there's enough leeway to be able to do that. Let me know if that resonates with you at all, if you can relate to any of this. Okay, thank you so much. I'm so glad that the music is better. Thank you, Madeleine. Okay, he's just gonna sleep in the background there. That's why we've got all of these blankets on the couch. And yeah, so this session is scheduled to finish at the top of the hour. We did have some technical issues, so it'll be about a 45-minute drawing session, which includes the discovery of the prompts. And once we've got the prompts in play, then I will start my drawing. And you can draw long as well at your own pace. And then you have the opportunity, if you would like, once you have completed your illustration, to share that over in a dedicated chat thread that I've got over in Substack. The link should be in the description beneath this video. If not, then after the fact, I will place it there. That's also where I will place the sheet, the prompt sheet, so that you've got that to refer to. You don't have to remember everything right now. But you can write it down if you want to, and then you can get your hands on the prompt sheet in the chat as well. I'll also share my my drawing, like initial sketch, and then what the end result is as well. Don't feel any pressure to do that. This is a zero pressure zone. If you just want to sit there and listen to the music while you're doing something else, by all means do that. This is your 45 minutes to do with as you please. But yeah, I'll be drawing. So let me change the camera, and hopefully that goes without too much struggle. There we go. Hopefully you can see. Yes, I am sitting on the floor. I find that I just like sitting on the floor. And oh, I need a pen. So you will see me moving my leg position every now and then, because I do need to do that. Okay, so this is, I'll just scooch that over to the side. This is the, there we go, just get that out the way. This is the prompt sheet where we get to practice drawing our cats and dogs. Oh, I didn't mention that. My preference is drawing cats and dogs, but feel free to change up the character as you see fit. There are certainly the subject section of the prompt sheet is dedicated to breeds of cats and dogs, but you can change that to boys and girls, or elephants and rhinoceroses, or whatever it is that you would like to be drawing. And yeah, so you can make it up as you go along. But then we do have other prompts for size, style, and then the actual story. So hopefully you can see this okay. Is that, let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. There we go, so that it is a bit closer to the screen. Okay, so first off, let me just add a new layer here. And I will choose, I'll choose a different color. I'll do this blue. Okay. All right, so we're going to start with, this is the week of the 10th. Today is Thursday the 10th. So what was that week? Okay, I'm just going to put 10th of July. So that we are all on the same page. Right, so now we're going to see, are we going to draw a cat or a dog? I've got my little wheel, and we're going to spin that. Today is a cat. Okay, and then what breed of cat? I'll show you what I drew last week, just also as a frame of reference. I think before I carry on, let me do this, so that you've got a frame of reference. This was last week's drawing. I was quite happy with that. It was a fun one to do. So that's mine. I would love to see yours if you feel called to share your art in the chat thread. Okay, so this week we're drawing more cats, and let's see the cat breed. A Bombay cat. I have no idea what a Bombay cat looks like. I will have to go and look that up on Pinterest. Okay. Then we move on to the sizes of our character to describe what our character looks like. So the first one, body type. Is it skinny or curvy? Curvy, okay. Then the main shape, and this can be the main shape of the character, but it can also be a shape that is prevalent in the entire illustration. So square. Then we're looking at head, ears, eyes, and nose, and how big or small they are. Okay, so first one is a small head. Second one is big ears. Third one is big eyes. And fourth one is small nose. Nope, that's the wrong one. Small nose. Okay. Then long and short, arms, legs, or tail. Arms, short. Legs, long. Tail, short. Okay. Then moving on to the style. So if you're anything like me as a novice illustrator, figuring out your personal illustration style is probably the most challenging aspect aside from learning how to actually draw, because you see so many different options out there, so many amazing illustrators doing amazing things, and you like them all, and you can't really pinpoint what should your style be, what's the consistent look that comes into your work. And what I have found is that when I get intentional about at least trying multiple different styles over a period of time, if I'm practicing enough and I look back at all of my illustrations, I can start to see common themes, commonalities in the pieces, and also noticing how much I enjoy working within a certain style, using a certain brush set, that kind of thing, using a certain color palette, how much detail and texture I include in the work, in the piece, and which one I just feel attached to, which one, yeah, just gives me joy, sparks joy. And so this is a great way of figuring out your style if you don't yet have one, or if you do have a style and maybe you're feeling like you're in a funk or you're a bit bored of it, this is a great way to try something else. It's not wild in terms of the options that we have here, but just a little step out of your comfort zone is a good thing. So let's look. We've got detail and texture, we've got line style, and we've got brush set. So the brush set, and this is relating to digital illustrators specifically, especially if you use a program like Procreate, where you can have a myriad of different brush sets. What I have done in my Procreate setup is, look at all these brushes, it's just ridiculous, and that is part of the overwhelm as a new illustrator. So what I did is I sat objectively and looked at which were the brushes that I felt really called to, and that I went back to, time and time again. And then I organized them and I numbered the groups from 1 to 10, just as a starting point. In the future, that might change and I might, reorganize this or try different groups or different brushes. But for the moment, these are the 10 that I'm working with. And again, if there's limitations, sometimes limitations can be a good thing, so because it wipes out the overwhelm and allows you to focus on a smaller group. So that's what the brush sets refer to, or the brush set numbers refer to. If you are doing this in an analog context, then you might want to number your brush sets. They could be pencil sets, like this particular set of pencils, this particular set of watercolors, this particular set of pens, whatever, you can number. Or maybe you've got one of everything, you can number them accordingly. And yeah, so that's up to you. Right, so let's have a look-see. So in terms of style, detail and texture, are we going to have a lot or are we going to have a little? So detail, we're going to have a lot, and texture, we're going to have a little. Okay, then line style. This is one, I must be honest, that I forget about all the time. So today I'm going to set the intention for this piece to pay particular attention. However, it does always come out as pencil, so in this case I don't necessarily need to. Okay, and then finally, brush set. Three. Okay, and then we get down to the final section of the prompt sheet, and that is the story. So the first section of our story prompts is, what is the emotion or feeling, either of the character or of the piece in general? Playful, that's a nice one. Okay, and then we've got scene and object. So scene, you can't see that. Corner shop, we have had that before. I'll have to come up with a new corner shop. And then object. Cacti, that's cute. Okay. So cacti, corner shop, playful. And then lastly, what is the action of our character? Searching. Searching, searching, searching. There we go. Okay, and so this searching, this action can be related to either the main character or maybe other characters in the scene, in the story. It's completely up to you to interpret. So I will go ahead and share this right now so that if you are in Substack, that you can get this and have it as a reference. So export, save image, and then it is Substack, and I'll share the link to this area. Here you can see last week's one. Here's this week's drawing prompt sheet. Okay. How do I add my image now? There we go. Okay, so that is there if you would like it, and I will just get the link for you so that you can follow along. Okay. And so now we draw. Let me know if you do have any particular questions or comments. And yeah, happy to answer them. Okay. And I think it's also a good practice just to see somebody else's process, like real life process. Oftentimes I don't know what I'm doing until I'm doing it, and I always say that, you know, clarity comes from action. So there we go. Okay, let's slide this over so that I've got it as a reference. Here we go. Oh, I got to look up what a Bombay cat looks like. So Pinterest. Oh, it's pretty. Okay. Black cat, cute. With striking eyes. Big striking eyes on a Bombay cat. Okay, got it. Sort of. Okay. So it was brush set number 3. So I'm going to choose a sketch brush. Okay, and it's a corner shop. Lots of detail. When we had corner shop last time, I drew the outside of the corner shop. So today I'm going to challenge myself to draw the inside of a corner shop. And as there is lots of detail, I think that's a good practice. So I'm just starting with the general shape, and I get the sense that this is going to change. But I just got to start somewhere. I've been mindful lately of perspective, and something that I've noticed the more I have practiced, there are no curvy ones. There are no curvy black cats. But you know what? This is our drawing, so we get to draw them how we want to. There. Oh, I was trying to figure out what's going on over here. But anyway, yeah, we will draw our curvy Bombay cat. Maybe curvy is, ooh, that's given me a good idea. Okay, I like that. Okay, talk about giving myself a challenge. So when it comes to cats, curves are a thing, and not in the physique point of view. I'm going to interpret the curviness perhaps in a different way. That's the beauty of having random prompts, you know, that you get to flex your imagination muscle. You get to play around. Oftentimes, what I would notice when I see somebody else's completed piece of art, I can't get their image out of my head and come up with my own ideas. So I don't know if you can relate to that, or I'm perhaps doing exactly the same thing here. Okay, I'm not liking this. I'm going to scrap it. One thing I do hope that these sessions demonstrate is that ideas are not fully formed straight off the bat. That sometimes it takes a couple of tries. Okay. And there's a lot to be said about giving yourself the option of cleaning the slate, like just get messy, like draw, but feel free to change it up. Doesn't need to be set in stone. Corner cafe. No, corner shop. I often, in fact, the more I've practiced with my illustration, the more often I'm surprised by what I'm able to create. Like I'm like, oh, I didn't know I could do that. Wow. Like I surprise myself. And that's no coincidence. But the more you practice, the more you surprise yourself with your abilities. Obviously, there's always room for growth, but there's also room for just honoring the learning, growing process. So maybe this little thing. Sorry, Buck. Okay, so I'm just kind of laying the groundwork for the scene, still processing the rest of it. Don't yet know where I'm going to put the cat. Maybe there's a big plant here. I've been really into my plants, my actual plants at home lately. What kind of plant? Uh-huh. See, and as you are I think that's the beauty of sketching, that you, in order to sketch, you have to be loose with your expectations. Like, you can't be putting so much pressure on the sketch, especially if you are still forming the image, still formulating the idea for the piece. And when you're loose, and like the fluidity, the looseness of the actual sketch, like it's not perfect lines, it's messy, it's imperfect, you're unattached to it because you're okay to delete it and start again if it's not working out. I feel like the practice of that makes it, it invites imagination, it invites ideas, because your brain is kind of expanding, it's loose, it's unattached. So it's a physical practice of detaching, which then opens up for imagination. And that feels very, very good. Okay. Okay. How's your drawing go? Have you got ideas flowing yet? I find that the sketch section is not to get things down perfect, but at least to, like I said, like allow the ideas to start to take shape. Okay, I'm going to draw my character on a different layer because I know there's going to be a lot of redos here, and just to retain the scene section, because what I'm having in mind is really taking me out of my comfort zone. I don't really know how I'm going to draw it. To get it to curve round that shelf. Okay. I struggle with profiles as well, so that's certainly something I want to work on a lot. Like doing the profile of the face. Was big eyes, yeah, big ears, small nose. Madeleine, no drawing going on here. I'm not an artist, wishing I was. I'm more into doodling, but I love watching you draw. Oh, thank you. Well, yeah, I'm an aspiring artist. It's a skill that I definitely want to improve on, and I do find that creating for the sake of creating a piece, telling a story is as therapeutic and relaxing as the mindful doodles, because it is drawing your focus. Like nothing else happens, nothing else is going on while you're in the zone, while you're focusing on it. And that is exactly the point of it, is the, you know, of all the mindfulness work, all the mindfulness doodles. And that's it's a great practice. I don't yet feel that I can call myself an artist, but I aspire. I want to be able to do it. I want to create pieces that make me smile. And if it makes others smile as well, then that's a bonus. Don't know what's going on here in this bum region. If you are wanting to do the doodling, that's our Friday sessions are the doodle sessions. Okay, I'm just faffing there now. I can't yet do profiles. I think that's a good reframe. I can't yet do profiles. Okay, let's think this through. Okay, we are nearing. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not upset that the end of our session is coming to an end while I try to tackle this profile. I will share the final image for sure, but I get the feeling it's gonna take a while. Sometimes it just, something clicks into place. I kind of feel we're getting kind of getting there. Yeah, really not. Yeah, it's going to take some work. I'm not getting that right now, but I do want to at least get something there, because the shape of this whole face is not doing it for me. Let me look at those cats. See if I can see one in profile. There we go. Got it. No. It's looking better already. Okay, got some work to do there, but it is the top of the hour, so I'm gonna end the session there. And yeah, so the invitation is for you to carry on working on your, there we go, carry on working on your, my assistant at the back here, hello. Carry on working on your sketch, and if you feel called to share your final image, you're more than welcome. If you don't want to, you don't have to at all. I will. You've seen, and I like to show, you know, like the messy, imperfect, ugly version of the sketch, and then the completed piece. And I feel like that's such a great before and after, such a great evidence of an evolution in such a short space of time. So yeah, I can see how, you know, in one drawing session, working on one piece, I can see how my drawing does improve just in that process alone. So when you compound that, if you keep coming back weekly and practicing your illustrations, just who knows what is possible for your illustration skills. So yeah, I shall leave it there. Thank you so much for joining. If you are watching this live, thank you so much for watching the recording if you stumbled across this video. And yeah, if you do want to join the mindful doodling session, it's happening tomorrow at 10 o'clock EST, both here on YouTube and over on Insight Timer. So you can, yeah, come and join that. And honestly, there you need zero artistic skill. It is about the practice, it is not about the outcome, 100%. So I hope to see you there. Thank you so much, Madeleine, for joining in the chat and for letting me know that you can hear me okay. Sorry for the technical glitch at the beginning. And I hope to see you all in a future live session. Happy creating. Bye.